Hello. This is the first time I ever do a voiceover. I don't have a very good editing software, so I'm not good at subtitle text things. This is my Mark for Death build. It's pretty good. I covered a lot of bases with this, and has a lot of good breakpoints. Here we have a Brundle, Crawler, Septic Spreader, Guard, and a Stalker here, and I can just kill all of these really fast.
Skull Crusher!
Alright, here we go.
Booyah!
There we go. Like I said, on Has 5. The Brundle initially refused to be killed, but that's only because I was a little bit too far away. Now, there are multiple ways to kill Oppressor, especially when you have Has 5 solo scaling. Probably one of my favorite things is just to throw 3 taser bolts, and that will usually just kill it and stuff. And it's just good. You just throw some taser bolts on it and just watch it die. Have some weird peculiarities with taser bolts though, and that sometimes they won't do as much damage as they should. The other way, which is pretty good, you can literally freeze them and then just utterly snipe them to death.
We got the oppressor! Look what I found!
Then, you can also
From A to D, skip it.
just, shoot it, maybe do half and half. Like that. Oh, like that.
Press this!
But a really fun way, and this is only possible with Hazard 1 single player scaling or whatever.
Over here,
Not
my
Hazard
mark
1,
boy.
Hazard 5 single player scaling is this.
Bam!
And he's dead.
Oppressor down!
Now let's talk about where this build really excels at. It really excels at Hazard 5 with 4 player scaling and the Tougher Enemies 2 modifier. Now to recreate that, I've done one of my previous videos I do, where I set it to Hazard 4, and then I set the larger enemy scaling to 2.63, and this exactly correlates with what the health would be if it was that number. So, if we do it on Praetorian, and just like that. That guy's normally pretty tough to take out. Just kind of what normal looks like in comparison. Takes 3 magazines. And we can also do that with, say, a
Look what I found!
Spitball infector. You can't quite take out a Barrage infector with Hazard 5, 4-player scaling, and Tougher Enemies 2. But when you have damage like this, I don't think anybody's complaining.
Dwarven nimbleness spell.
Here's what it's like to kill a Betsy with Hazard 5, 4-player scaling, and Tougher Enemies 2.
Eat it! Pow!
Now, that may seem like it wasn't very effective, but let me give you a frame of reference. We'll turn this down, and we'll just go with Hazard 5 solo, which is usually what I play at.
Gotta go fast! Born ready.
Yeah. Here's a Hulli hoarder with hazard 5 4-player scaling and tougher enemies 2.
Reloaded. Be gone! Trying to escape a dwarf who wants your precious.
I also want to touch on how breakable weak points work and how Mark for Death works with that. Whenever you shoot a weak point, when you have a weak point bonus, that extra damage from the weak point bonus doesn't count towards breaking the weak point. And it's same true for a lot of other things, which I call extra damage. The extra damage from shield battery booster is considered extra damage, and so you get more value out of that, as well as thermal exhaust feedback, and quite a few other things, including volatile bullets for Gunner's Revolver. And that also includes anything that's marked for death, which means everything else will also get extra value out of breakable weak points. Like, say, if you shoot a bulk and then a gunner shoots it with this minigun. Here, let me kind of demonstrate it.
Look over here.
So that's without using Mark for Death. Now, if I use Mark for Death, see, I get quite a bit more value out of it. And see, for more apparent, if I go ahead and use a bulk. So here, if we start shooting the breakable weak points, see, they pop rather easily. And that's about how much your health you're left with. Now, if we Mark for Death, see, we're getting a lot more value out of those weak points. Here's something that's pretty fun. You can one-shot the big rock guys if you go ahead and mark them for death, and then you power attack them with power attack up.
Everyone, can I get some attention?
And yeah, it kills them pretty fast. And you can see one power attack doesn't quite work. For our final showcase, let's show what it's like to kill a Crassus with hazard 5 4-player scaling and tougher enemies 2. As you can see, still got it. Just gonna lock that guy in place. And the blisters are staying around for a long time because of the scaling. And so it's pretty effective. That about wraps it up. This is, like I said, this is my first time doing a voiceover, so let me know what you think.